Hello, how long does it take to analyze a stock on your watch list for swing trading? Well, let's take a look at the stocks we want to put in our watch list, and let's just pick one from this, BMY. So BMY, if we assume BMY is a stocks you want to swing trade, is on your watch list, you'll have your platform open. Here we have think of swing platform. You will use maximum daily chart with our long option swing trading strategy. We want to buy at the valley of the mountain and sell it at the peak of the mountain, around those two areas, trade within those two areas. So analyzing the stocks when you have not purchased it yet will be to see where you want to buy it, and we can just check. The time is 5:48 a.m. and today is November 20th 2025, and right now these stocks is not even on our watch list. So we are going to go on maximum monthly chart to see if that is the stocks we want to add to our watch list. So when it's not on your watch list, then you will do more work with it. We are going to use our trend lines and trace the valley line. The valley line is where you want to buy. So you want the valley line to pass by the obvious V's, and by starting from there, we pass by there, and then we can see what else it can touch base with. We can start from here, but when we do that, it's just going to go higher up. So therefore, it won't have too much touch point. Therefore, I prefer not to do that. But here we just know that it went below it in some way there. We can still try to go this way. It's just going to be a little bit about the same. So therefore, it's not necessary to trace that one. So we have higher lows in some way, to the exception of this area here, but we notice that it has not really touched base with this valley line in a while, and I'm not really seeing a good. It's for so long here. We are using we have the dates from the past to the present on the x-axis and the price from 0 up. So we have this valley line. Now we are going to look at the top, and for this we are going to say that the top is kind of horizontal. It barely exceed the previous mountain, so it tend to have, it tend to remain around that area. It does not exceed it too much. So because it's maximum monthly chart, that is all-time high, but you can see that it's not too far from the previous times, and this is not even higher than this one, but this one is. So it takes a while to exceed the previous the previous peak, and it can linger around the valley line for years as well. Therefore, this stock is not going to be a stock that we will want to buy. But if we assume this is stocks that we want to buy, how long is going to take you? So far, you can see this is the time it takes us to see if that's something we want to add to our watch list. Because by this point, you filter the stock that you found through multiple other filters before you put it on your watch list. Now, on your master watch list, now to see stocks that will be on your watch list for the new year that you are going to trade from, 2026, that you trade from that list that you need to create, and you might want to start working on it now. That is pretty much, it took us from 48 to 51, 3 minutes or so to do this analysis to say that this is not going in my watch list. If we want to assume this is going to be a part of the watch list, on your daily basis or weekend analysis will be to compare where the price is to where you want to buy. And clearly I can even see that line that I traced here. So that pretty much means yesterday the price dropped, but it's far from where we want to buy. That is to the extent you want to do your chart analysis. And if you purchase it already, it's in your portfolio, and you are waiting to sell, then you'll compare where the price is to where you want to sell, which is going to be after the previous high is breached, after a new high, a price that is higher than this one. We are using maximum daily chart. That is the all-time high here, and it's far from it. Therefore, it's not the time to sell it either if it was in your portfolio. That is the extent of your analysis on a regular basis once you put the stock in your watch list. And that took us 1 minute to make that determination. And when it's around the support line where you want to buy, that is when you zoom in closer to see what is going on there. If you are seeing higher lows there, for you to get in the trade, for you to buy some, or if you want to wait longer because the previous time it touched base with that support line, it stayed there for a while, therefore not buying it, or so forth. That you'll have more thinking to do, and you'll take longer time analyzing what is going on around the value line if you want to avoid getting in the trade a little bit too early, but getting in it when it's getting ready to start going up again. And when it's around it reach a new high and you want to sell it because you already purchased it, then you want it to compare where that new high is to the previous time to see after it reached the new high, how long it continued to climb up, going down before it was down, and start pulling back to the value line to see if you want to stay in the trade longer instead of just getting out and wait for years before you find it again around the valley. But stay in it for half the time frame that is going to climb the mountain, or stay in it for that same time frame as the past before you sell it, before it start going down to the valley again. So when you are at those strategic areas of the chart where you want to sell after you have in your portfolio, or where you want to buy it when you don't have in your portfolio yet, or you have it but you want to buy some more again, is when you are going to be, when the chart is around those two strategic points, on your map, that you'll have a lot more of process thinking going on to see if that's the right move to make at that time frame. But other than that, it's just quick to analyze the chart. So this, based on the way it stay around the value line quite a bit and does not get higher on top. For that reason, it's now going to be on our watch list. And here I'm just going to put no. The next one is BA. So BA, let's take a look at it and see if we can find some value lines here. We have this one that is quite horizontal, and we can trace this one. It breached this one a little bit, but this seems to be the value line. It touched base with it quite a bit, and in fact that's a sturdy one. Now let's take a look at what is going on. Do we have higher highs? We do, but it is so higher up here that is having a problem exceeding that high peak. So it just could be unusual one. It's around the pandemic, so it was an unusual one. So we can take that into consideration and see which one. So at this point, if you want to buy this, we might just try to say, okay, we will sell it. I don't usually trace an oblique resistant line, but I like to see, since we cannot really count on this and now use a higher high to sell, I like to see if there is a pattern on those that is doing. I usually don't trace this. I don't trace an oblique resistant line, but even if I trace that, it's pretty much it is pretty much around that area right now. So it's not really one we can rely on. March is already around that area. That so we can really, and let's see, when it went up, it pulled back, went up, it didn't reach a higher peak. This peak is not as high as this one, and it pulled back and went up and pulled back again. That's even lower. So pretty much we are having a downtrend here, and I'm not entirely sure why it's taking so long to go up. So it's not that it's even making a higher high here that we can rely on to, you know, to just see that, oh, next time it breached the previous high, we are going to sell it if we buy it at this valley. It's just making a lower high every few years. So it does not give us a clean exit point. For that reason, I don't want to add it to my watch list. It is a stable company in some way. Let's see here, it took that many years before even exceeded this peak. So yeah, we have a good valley line, but we do not have a good exit point. When we buy it, we won't know where to sell it. For that reason, we are not going to add it in our watch list. So here I'm just going to put a note and none. Okay, so clear valley line, but no peak to exit. So the next one, so that means a no as well for it. So the next one is RTX. Okay, RTS is going up. We can clearly see that we are having higher highs there, but let's see if we can find a good entry point. It has not touched base with those support line. This could be our valley line to buy as well. Now let's see if we are having higher highs here. We have this peak, this one is higher, this one is higher, this one is higher, and so forth. So yes, we are having higher highs and we are having higher lows. So therefore, if we will buy it, we will want to buy around this valley line. It is a long one, but right now it's so higher up. We are just going to wait, and we don't know how long it's going to take before it comes back down to it. It left it 2 years ago. So yes, this is going to be in it, and we are going to put a good trial there for it. The next one is LMT. So for this one, for instance, how long does it take to analyze it? If you know you have it on your watch list and you want to buy it, there is 6 a.m. So when you open it on your maximum daily chart, you look at it, is the price is, it went up yesterday, that's why it's green. The price at the end of the day was higher than the price in the morning when the markets open. Excuse me. But the price is closer to the high, new high, than it is to the valley. Therefore, we are not going to buy. That is the extent of how you do your analysis. If you have it, you purchase it already around this valley line when it start going up, and you want to sell it, well, if you didn't sell it, it will, after it, you know, it exceeded this previous peak here, then you ask yourself, do you want to sell it there, or do you want to stay in the trade longer? Then you'll want it to see the last time it left this valley line, which will be around here, and then it reached the peak somewhere here by exceeding that one. How long it continue going up before it pull back? So from here, like March, of 1 year all the way to January of the following year. So almost 1 year, but it pulled back here and then continue going up. So it went horizontal. So you might decide that maybe stay in the trade for 6 months. But again, with this, do you see, even if you sell it at any area here, you'll be selling it for less than that price level. So that's something you might, when you are looking at this, if it's going to be doing something like that, you are not entirely sure if you want to continue staying in it. So it didn't really repeat that pattern here. So if you exceed the trade, well, you will exceed it with profit, but you still have this that you left on the table. So this is not really following the previous pattern for you to rely on. And there are stocks sometimes like that. So when it reach, you have it in the portfolio and it reach a new high, those are question you have to ask yourself to see if you want to sell it or stay in the trade longer. And you can stay in it 1 month at a time to see what is going on, to see if you want to sell it or keep staying in it and keep observing it. But that is to the extent you'll do that analysis as well if you already have it in your portfolio. So we'll go back, and this, yes, is going to be in our watch list, NOC. So NOC, maximum monthly chart. Let's trace some valley lines passing by the obvious V's that we can see. That will just be too close. We can start it somewhere there. And I don't like to zoom when I'm tracing those on the maximum monthly chart so that I can have a bigger picture. So there is a possibility it's going to come down to this, just like there is a possibility it might just remain on this. It has been relying on this for a while. It does not make a wide mountain. Therefore, I don't know if it's going to come down to this or if it's going to continue climbing this. At this point, we can take this to be our entry point as well as the bottom one, just in case it comes down to it. So now we'll go to the, before you highlight it though, it might be a good idea to even see if you are having higher peak. And clearly we are having higher peak every few years. So therefore, yes, it will be in the watch list. And at this point, it reached a new peak there and start going down. So we are just going to keep observing it to see what it's doing. One thing I noticed here though, it touched base with that peak multiple times before it was ready to go up. That's something to consider. And in the past, I disqualified stocks for that reason. If they buy at the, if it will touch base with the support line and keep touching it with after multiple months without reaching a high, is a disqualification factor for me. But going to 2026, I'm overlooking that by working with a bigger picture. Look at, multiple years to see what is going on and put it into perspective as well. And for that reason, this will meet the qualification for 2026 watch list, at least the preliminary watch list. And if we have a long list of those stocks, then we can see which ones will make it to the final list. But yeah, I'm okay with it. And those are sometimes exceptions that you will make to some stocks, and sometimes it might be harsh on some other stock. But you have to keep in mind that those stocks, if you purchase them at a higher price, you'll be stuck in it until it becomes positive for you to sell. Therefore, it is crucial for us, you and I, to pick good stocks we are willing to invest in to swing trade, so that if we purchase it and the price drop, we can just keep it in our portfolio until it becomes positive for us to sell. So how long is it going to take to analyze a stock like this? Well, you want to buy here, the price is there, the highest price is there. It's going down, but it's nowhere near when we want to buy. Therefore, we are not going to buy. And that is the simplest, the extent you'll do the analysis when it is on your watch list. It will take about 30 seconds to figure that out and move to the next stock. Now, based on how long it takes you to do that analysis. And if I say 30 seconds, we can pull our calculator out. If you have 1 hour to do your chart analysis, whether on a daily basis or on a weekend basis, if it takes about 30 seconds to figure out that this stock is far from where you want to buy and move to the next, then you can take your CC second divided by 30 seconds and your CC minutes times CC second, that is 3,600 seconds in 1 hour, divided by 30 seconds that it takes to analyze one stock. You can put 120 stocks in your watch list to analyze within an hour. Thank you so much for watching our videos. And going toward 2026, it is the right time to start gathering those stocks, filtering them to create your watch list, because some of them are already at the valley line, start going up. You might even buy some before you even get into 2026, and you will start making profits getting into 2026, because some of them with the holidays, they might start going up. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for watching our videos, and thank you very much for subscribing to our channel. I'm Afiavi, Liberman Consulting L.L.C YouTube channel, and ninasoap.com, our blog. On our channel and on our blog, we share different ways to save money and different ways to make money to reach your financial independence, where you do not depend on an employer to provide for your family. And swing trading is one way to make money. For more on how you can create your own watch list and be ready to start swing trading positively in 2026, will you please check the playlist in the description of this video. And this video is brought to you by our online store, liberman.com, and we have a tote bag that are listed for you to check it out if you want to purchase it. We sold to sell, and that is one way we make money as well. Thank you for your time.